What is up, Waffle Gang? I do hope you are well. My name is Mark, and today we're checking out some more r/am I, the butthole. If you'd like to skip the initial waffle, timestamps are in the description and along the timeline below. But if you are new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too, as it really helps out our channel. And just a huge thank you for taking the time out of your day to be here, get involved with the channel, clicking that like, clicking that notification bell, being involved in Discord, all the good stuff. Thank you so much for doing you, and let's just crack straight on with today's stories. Much love, guys. Now, our first story comes from BodyHair077. Am I the arsehole for telling my sister her body hair is ruining her dates? Bad title, hear me out. My sister, 22 female, and I, 26 female, both have PCOS. I think it's polycystic ovary syndrome. As a result, we have very thick, dark body hair and facial hair that can honestly rival some men's. I personally choose to shave regularly because I can't stand how it looks and feels. My sister used to shave, but about a year ago decided she wanted to stop. Of course, I support her 100% and think she's beautiful. What she does with her body is her business. However, there is an issue. My sister uses old pictures of herself back when she was shaving on dating apps. This has led to a lot of problems in her romantic life. She often complains she never gets a second date, and sometimes people even leave mid-date. I think this is kind of her fault because she's being disingenuous about her appearance, which is a shitty thing to do. I have always bit my tongue and just supported her about this topic until recently. The other day, she was venting again about another failed date. She asked me why this keeps happening to her. I told her she should consider updating her profile pictures. She got defensive and asked why she would need to do that. I told her it would probably help so people know what she looks like, since she looks a lot different than when they were taken. She started getting extremely angry and said a little body hair doesn't make that much of a difference and the right person won't mind a little hair. Again, our body and facial hair is very thick and dark, and in my opinion definitely makes a difference. When I don't shave, I get a full mustache and beard, and my sister is the same. The people she's going on dates with aren't expecting her to show up with a full mustache and beard because her pictures show her clean shaven. I told her she's beautiful, but she's given people false expectations, which is why she's having bad luck dating. She should just be honest from the start and that the right one will come along, but she was infuriated and said I was being unsupportive and misogynistic. She has refused to talk to me since, and my family is now calling me an arsehole too because they think I was shaming her. My sister even posted on social media that body hair is beautiful, the stigma attached to it is misogynistic, it sucks when your own family won't support you. Did I go wrong somewhere here? I love my sister and don't think that body and facial hair is a bad thing at all, but I don't think it's right to basically catfish people and then blame them for not being interested and treated them like they're horrible people when you misled them. Am I the arsehole? Now, I don't think you're the arsehole in this situation. From what it sounds to me, it sounds like you are a loving, supportive sister. And it certainly comes across that way in this post. And you were totally right that, she's catfishing people in some ways. If I went on a date with someone from a dating app and I saw their picture and I thought I was going on a date with that particular person, I would expect to meet that person, not someone who looks completely different, And again, that's no disrespect to the body hair issue, the facial hair issue, with anything that was different about them. You were totally right. It was catfishing. But Yuki says not the arsehole. She's lying to those who look at her profile. And if body hair is natural and she's okay with it, why won't she update her picture? She's okay with her hair, proud of it, so why? Because she knows she won't get as many first dates if she did update it, is what I think. But it would solve the issue of people leaving in the middle of the date because they were lied to. To which Devious Cheesecake says, right, her statement of the right person wouldn't mind a bit of body hair contradicts the fact that she has an old pre-hair profile picture, because she is not attracting the right person, she's attracting the wrong ones and going on dates with the wrong ones. She has to decide whether she wants a lot of first dates or if she wants to really put herself out there with a new picture and try to find someone who will actually connect with her. Not the arsehole, OP. You were honest but gentle about the whole thing. And Glittering Living says, not the arsehole, I have PCOS, and the honest answer is, if you choose to embrace the body hair issue, embrace it. But if she is claiming to embrace it, then not backing it up with being proud about it, then that's a huge issue. And Pretty Cute Bunny says, not the arsehole, wow, your sister loves being the victim, doesn't she? No offense, if I see a guy clean shaven and I met him in person with a beard, I'd straight up call him what he is, a catfisher. Body hair or not, if it's something she knows will make people swipe left, she should put it up there. Doesn't matter if she has extra weight, shorter hair or a facial scar. Changing pictures you know will make people swipe left, and meeting with them regardless is catfishing, and even if right guy shows up, he would leave after being deceived. She loves complaining about them not staying when she's the one who catfished and wasted their time, then blamed you when she asked for your opinion and got defensive. The fact that she also made a post doesn't help either. She loves being the victim and it's on her, not you. And now I turn this one to you guys. What do you guys think of this situation? Let me know in the comments below. And our next story is from OK Philosopher. Am I the arsehole for refusing to go on a family holiday with my boyfriend's family because I hate his 7-year-old nephew? So, context first. 2 years ago, I went on a holiday to Spain with my boyfriend and his sister, her husband, 3 nieces and his nephew, then 5, sister-in-law and brother-in-law for this. We rented a shared house. They wanted to go to a petting zoos, etc. Whereas me and my boyfriend wanted to lie by the pool and drink, so we agreed every other day we would do things together, and then the other days we would spend time apart, just me and boyfriend. Same in the evenings, some nights together, some apart. I should add that they asked to come with us because they don't earn a lot of money and it would be cheaper for them to share the cost of the house, food, etc. with us. We felt bad for them, so agreed. I'd spent time with them before and it was fine in short stints, and we already knew his nephew was loud, but oh my god, he was a nightmare. He screams constantly. Every day 4 AM till 7 PM, screaming not matter what mood he was in. He also constantly misbehaved. He hit his sisters, threw toys, threw food, drinks, etc. He went into my bag, pulled out my makeup and stuck his fingers in it. Also, whenever I was wearing a bikini by the pool, he would pull the string so it came apart. The first time it happened, I flashed my brother-in-law. It got to the point I wouldn't lie by the pool or swim while the kids were there. Sister-in-law and brother-in-law told him no, but he kept doing it. We had every other day to ourselves, but whenever we were in the house with them, it was just constant stress. Not what anyone wants from a holiday. We've booked the same place again for August, hopefully if restrictions are lifted. Fully refundable if not. We weren't going to say to them we were going, but boyfriend mentioned offhand and she texted us a few days ago to ask if they could come again. Boyfriend said to them it's been a tough year and we wanted some alone time together. She said we wouldn't need to spend time going out together, we could just share the house. Brother-in-law lost his job this year, etc. and they really need this as a family break, and her mum agreed to pay for them all to go. She actually agreed to give them £400 for a holiday of their choice, but coming with us means they save money and can actually go away rather than camping or something in the UK. Sister-in-law said we would be like ships in the night, was the way she described what it would be like. That might be what they intend, but even my boyfriend's mum has admitted that nephew is no better now than he was a few years ago. If anything, he is worse now. My boyfriend said he would ask me and he said he thinks it would be yes, mainly because we don't really have a way of saying no now. If it were me, I would just say we don't want to because the way nephew behaved last time and we want a relaxing holiday. But I understand from my boyfriend's perspective that this isn't something he feels he can say to his sister. I've said I would say it, but would this make me an arsehole if I was honest and not wanting to go because of her son? And OP came in with some additional info saying, I just wrote this as a response to someone's comments. I think maybe I should highlight it as it's part of the reason why my boyfriend is reluctant to say no to them. We went halves on the place last time and we didn't factor the kids into the cost as the place, as even if it was just us two, would have gotten somewhere with a pool anyway, and they only came with 3 bed places. This year, we got the place way cheaper this year because of the COVID drama. We booked in January when everyone was worried no one would get away this year at all, so the place was less than £600 for the week. It was like $2,400 last time, and even that was a bargain for the size of the place. Also, I realised I said they don't have a lot of money and that £1,200 a week is a lot of money, but they would usually spend more on either a villa for them or a big enough hotel room, and this wouldn't include food. Sister-in-law works for an airline. I think she gets a couple of free flights per year and massive discounts on others, which she said if we go together she'll be able to get us guest passes as well, which is nice of her but not really the point. Also, the house is self-catering, and again, to be fair to them, last time they managed to feed all of them for the week for under £150, and most of the activities they did were free or a few euros. Part of the reason why boyfriend is so reluctant to say no is because we're getting such a good deal, and we know there's no way that we/they would ever be able to get somewhere so amazing so cheap again, so it almost feels mean hogging it. Again, I see where he's coming from and part of me agrees, but at the same time, it's not about the money to me, it's about the fact that I deserve a relaxing break whether I spent £200 or £2 million. And this one is a pretty simple one for me, although you want to do the right thing for brother-in-law and sister-in-law, you know, it's not your responsibility in the end, and like you say, you deserve to have a holiday, a break for yourselves, and let's face it, it's going to be chaos in that house regardless. You know what the child's like. It's not going to be like passing ships in the night. There will be evenings, like say from 6 PM onwards, where you will be staying back in the house, and it's just going to be chaos and stressful for you. And like I said before, it's not your responsibility. But so Valkyrie Mama says, not the arsehole, I think your SO needs to say, sorry sis, we have planned this as just a couple's getaway. We don't really want to share the house with anyone, maybe another time. And she needs to accept that. You don't need to go into details as to why, just no thanks, just us this time. And your SO needs to make it clear that this is a joint decision and not that you didn't want them to come. And Miss Tanks You says, not the arsehole, but honestly your boyfriend is one for putting you in that position. Frankly, I'd tell him if he doesn't feel comfortable saying no, then he doesn't have to, but since the child hasn't changed, you won't be accompanying him. A less petty version of me would say no, but if we're going to turn them down, we need to do it together, so he doesn't try to hang it on you. And Slurav says, not the arsehole, you want alone time and you're entitled to that, and quite frankly, regardless of the nephew, I think it's pretty rude of them to just invite themselves along anyway. I'm sure it's been a tough year for them, but it's a tough year for everyone, and that doesn't make them any more entitled to share the home with you. It is your vacation, and you shouldn't have to ruin it for yourself just to appease them. And now I turn it to you guys. What would you do if you was in this family situation? Let me know in the comments below. And our next story comes from Am I the Arsehole Babysitting Post. Am I the arsehole for walking out after being told one kid was autistic and another kid had a deathly food allergy? I, female 16, babysit on weekends for some extra money. I used to babysit for this one lady, Diana, and her 2 kids, 1 female and 4 male, every day over the summer while Diana worked. Diana texted me last week and asked if she could give her friend Jennifer, who has 2 kids, 6 male and 4 female, my number because it was her husband's birthday and they wanted to go out. I said sure, and Jennifer texted me asking about my rates, references, when I was trained in CPR and a lot of other questions. Not gonna lie, it felt kinda weird to me, but some people are overprotective, so I went with it. Yesterday, I got to their house and they left money for us to order food right before they walked out the door. Jennifer handed me an EpiPen and said, 6 male is deathly allergic to peanuts and 4 female is autistic and has sensory issues, so get us some chicken nuggets. It took a second for me to process that, but I gave back the EpiPen and said, I'm sorry, but I'm not equipped to take care of your kids, and I left. Well, Jennifer is mad that I ruined their night and has been talking shit about me to Diana, but once Diana heard the real story, she apologised and said she had talked to Jennifer. Am I the arsehole for walking out of a babysitting job when I learned one kid had a deathly allergy and the other kid was autistic? Edit, I wanted to add that I spent 6 months volunteering in a special needs classroom and I have some health issues, so I know how to give shots, although I've never used an EpiPen. So if they would have told me before, I would have probably taken the job and just watch a few videos on how to use an EpiPen. I was mostly just in shock and worried about the other things that would come up too, that they didn't tell me about. Hell no, you're not the arsehole. Imagine if things went wrong and then you got the blame for that. You did totally the responsible thing to do in this situation. And I think putting myself in OP's shoes in the situation, I would have done exactly the same, because there's no way I would have felt comfortable having that dropped on me at last minute. No way at all. Absolutely not the arsehole in my opinion. But let's check out some of the comments to see what they say. Verity Fox says, not the arsehole. Jennifer should have supplied this info well before the point she did. You were well within your rights to refuse the job if you did not feel able to cope with the needs of the children. Their safety is paramount, and that's what you were doing. She made this bed for herself, obviously to try to slip it in last minute to try and avoid a possible no from you earlier. And Check34 says, here we see the classic bait and switch by Jennifer. You don't just tell a caretaker as you're running out the door that your kids have additional needs and medical conditions. Not the arsehole, good on you OP for stating limitations and not going along with this. And Jeffy Lube says, not the arsehole, you don't get just to spring autism and severe food allergies onto someone. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they had multiple attempted sitters before that bailed, so they wanted to try and trap you as they walked out the door. And 1819 Raffaella says, not the arsehole, the mother should have let you know beforehand. What if her child had an allergic reaction and you didn't know how to use an EpiPen? Absolutely. And now I turn this one to you guys. Have you guys ever come across a similar situation before? Let me know in the comments below. And our next story is from Navilla. Am I the arsehole for asking my friend to step down as my maid of honor due to her husband making me uncomfortable? Hi, 3 weeks ago was my partner's birthday. Since it's been months since we organised, we found a really awesome Airbnb, but there was with it a zero tolerance for smoking. Everyone smokes weed, so I text everyone beforehand that they must smoke outside or on the heated smoke spot on the roof. Everyone agreed to follow the rules. It was 15 people, 4 of my friends and the rest my partner's friends and mutual friends. The issue is my friend's husband was so stressful and rude to be around. Everyone decided that they would rather drive an hour home and spend the night with us. He also kept shutting windows and smoking in the place. I was charged a $100 fee for the smell. I also received a horrible rating on Airbnb. So that's just the logistical issues. Now for the social. This man is so obnoxious, kept interrupting everyone, was being racist, sexist and homophobic. At one point, he went on a rant about Mexicans. His wife is Mexican, so that's extra horrible. He also kept humiliating her publicly, like he kept trying to get people to bully her with him. Another rant he went on was how gays are evil. I am pansexual and everyone was just staring at me. He also mocked any man cooking and cleaning, demanding all the women do it. He also fought with everyone about which room they were staying in and demanded why no couple went off to have sex yet. Everyone challenged his bigotry, but he got aggressive and ruder. All my partner's friends left due to stress and being upset. I also have a seizure disorder caused by stress. He told me it was all in my head and I should take medication. I advocated for myself, as did everyone else, about what type of vibe reduces my seizures. He actively ignored all pleads by me and everyone else to cool it, as my seizures results in me being picked up off the floor and moved. I also freeze and stare off into space, so everyone had to help me unfreeze and snap me out of it. I tried talking to my friend about his behaviour, but she just dismisses it as alcohol. I'm the last friend of hers since no one else wants to be around him. She seems to love him despite how mean he is to her. I told her 2 nights ago that unfortunately she can't be at the wedding since it's so small and we want to make sure the vibe is right, and the last get together was a nightmare. She told me I'm an arsehole for abandoning her. She said that she can't control him and it's not his fault, he doesn't understand my condition. She also said she'd been through several of my bad relationships and I'm an arsehole for cutting her out of my wedding after being friends since we were kids. I just want my guests to feel comfortable and not have seizures on my wedding day. I don't want it to affect my relationship, but I will say goodbye so I don't suffer seizures around him. No one else in my life that I socialise with causes that. So am I the arsehole? Info request. I was just going to uninvite him, but we got into a fight as she told me my seizures are my responsibility to deal with, and his behaviour isn't something she can control. I explained I can only have people on team anti-seizure at my wedding, and if she doesn't want to respect my triggers and sensitivity to certain stimulus, she can't come. No one kicked him out because it was very late and they lived an hour away. We were kind of scared of him getting violent or starting a fight. Everyone was high but me. I was suffering too many seizures. All the other guests also debriefed the next day and we were all remorseful about how the event unfolded. Lesson this thread taught me: my friend is being abused. I need to not apologise for my disorder. I should tread lightly with this friendship to help, but she needs to sit out my wedding unless she is going to be respectful of my seizure triggers. Thank you everyone. This has been so beyond helpful. I feel so validated, understood, and we made a plan on how to support her in the coming days. And that was we're not going to cover no comments on this one because we've pretty much got an update on the end there about what she learnt in this story. And that's kind of what I was thinking through the story, is like, yes, obviously you don't want her at your wedding at this moment, and that is 100% fine. But also, please just don't cut her out of your life, because it sounds like some form of abuse is going on, and she's likely to need you further down the line. So just be ready for that fallout. I know you don't have to, but I'm sure you will want to too. And I'm going to turn this one straight to you guys. What do you think OP should do in this situation? Do you have any advice? Let us know in the comments below. Now, once again, guys, thank you for being here today. I hope you did enjoy today's stories. And if you did, you know what to do. Hit that like, that subscribe, and maybe that notification bell too. Just a huge thank you for spending some time out of your day to be here. Really does mean the world. And I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Much love.